Hey there and welcome to our kitchen. I'm Lauren and this is Brittany and we're two of Festival's dietitians. And today we are so excited to bring you a really fun, refreshing grain salad recipe.
Absolutely. So today we're making a strawberry farro salad with goat cheese. And we really like working with farro. So we worked with it in a cold weather recipe with our mushroom farro casserole. It's on our blog. And today we're making more of a salad recipe for warm weather. Now, farro is a really great ancient grain. It was a staple in the Roman diet, and for good reason, because it's super hearty, it's packed with protein, packed with fiber, so we love working with it. All we've done so far is just cooked it according to the directions on the package. So we use chicken stock, unsalted chicken stock, instead of water, just to add some more flavor. And it takes about 30 minutes for all the liquid to be absorbed.
So it cooks very similar to a lot of other grains that we've used.
Right.
Quinoa, rice, just wait for that liquid to be absorbed. And speaking of rice and quinoa, you can certainly substitute other grains in this recipe if you don't want to use farro or you don't have it on hand.
Right.
So we talked about brown rice, couscous, quinoa,
wheat berries, whatever you want to use. But you can find this farro actually in our natural and organic department at Festival.
Yes, along with a lot of those other grains that we just mentioned.
Absolutely. So why don't we get started on the dressing?
Yes, so we're making our own dressing today. Dressings are really simple to make at home. A lot of times people always think that they have to go to the store, buy a dressing. Dressings are really, really simple. So just a couple ingredients that we're using to make this a really refreshing dressing.
Yes.
We're using freshly squeezed orange juice.
I really like making homemade dressings too because you can control the amount of ingredients you're putting into it.
Yes, definitely. And then we're using also the orange zest. So don't throw away that orange when you're done getting the juice out. The zest provides a lot of really good flavor.
Totally.
So we've got our acid here. The other piece to a dressing that we need is the oil. So we are using extra virgin olive oil.
Olive oil is a great base to use for dressings because it's full of those heart-healthy fats, but also maybe instead of a canola oil or vegetable oil that don't have a lot of flavor, olive oil is great for dressings because it adds that flavor.
Yes, I love using olive oil in dressing recipes.
Yes.
And then we're adding some honey, so giving it a little bit of natural sweetness, this recipe.
Yum. I like everything that's going into this so far.
Oh, yes, and it smells amazing, partly because of that zest. That zest makes it really, really fragrant. And then we're using fresh herbs, so we're using mint, actually, today.
And mint pairs really well with the citrus we're using, so.
Can you smell that?
Yes, absolutely, I love it.
Fresh herbs, love them. And then just adding a little bit of salt and pepper.
Just a really fresh dressing overall.
And these are just going to bring all the flavors together. And what's great about this dressing is that you can make it ahead of time. The longer you let it sit, the more those flavors come together. So you could just put it in the refrigerator, let it sit for a while. Flavors will really come together very nicely.
Totally, and that's a really good point too. Even with the farro, you can make that ahead of time, let it cool down before you put the dressing and other toppings on it.
Yes, definitely a time saver. So I'll give this to you. Pour right into our
farro. And then I'm just going to give it a quick toss just to make sure everything is coated. And then we can add in our other mix-ins. So today we're mixing in some strawberries.
And you could certainly use another berry. Again, that's what's great about all these mix-ins is you can use what you have on hand.
Yeah, whatever fruits you like. Just as long as we're keeping it fresh.
Yes, raspberries. You could do sliced apples or pears. Yeah.
Totally.
I love the color, though. I like the mint, the green with the red.
Me too. Okay, so these are some toasted chopped walnuts. So again, to toast walnuts, all you have to do is put them on a baking sheet or in a pan on top of the stove and just toast them until they start to get fragrant. That's when you know those flavors are at their peak.
And they really don't take very long. We could admit that we've burned a couple batches of walnuts. So they really only take a minute or two.
Keep an eye on them for sure. And then lastly is just adding some goat cheese. Now goat cheese is just excellent with fruit. And it just adds, again, some more fresh flavors to this salad. This is another great reason to make the farro ahead of time and let it cool because if the farro's too warm, it will melt the goat cheese. So we don't want that to happen.
No.
And look how pretty that is.
I love it.
Oh my goodness.
And with the goat cheese, that's something that you can find on our deli cheese island. And I would encourage you to explore that because there are so many great specialty cheeses. And we are in Wisconsin.
Yes.
So we love cheese. You could use a feta cheese in this instead. Fresh mozzarella would be excellent. Lots of different options for these summer grain salads.
Totally. All right, I'm going to go ahead and dish some up for us. Make sure we get some fruit and greens in here.
And this can be used as a side dish. It can be used as a main dish. You could add some protein. I'm thinking salmon would be excellent with
salmon
this.
Would be really good, or even some grilled chicken. Yummy. Here, I'll give you a fork. That might help.
Thank you.
All right.
I got to get some goat cheese in here.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
The dressing definitely makes this dish.
All these flavors just blend together so well.
Well, we hope you give this great grain recipe a try.
And remember, you can always eat well with festival foods.